तिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादां सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. I'm very happy to be here with all of you. Avinash lecture in English, right?
Yes, Maharaj.
So I'm very happy to be with all of you in this holy and most auspicious month of Kartik. It is said that when devotional service to Lord Krishna is performed in this month, it becomes extremely powerful. Even otherwise, when any act of bhakti or devotion is done to Lord Krishna, any act of service is done to Lord Krishna, that is very powerful. It can overcome our entire material conditioning of many, many lifetimes. Even small acts of bhakti can destroy tons and tons of our karma from millions of lives. That is the power of bhakti. But that same act of bhakti, when it is done in the holy month of Kartik, in which we are presently, that becomes hundreds of times more powerful. So it is an excellent opportunity for us to make advancement in our spiritual life and to develop our innate bhakti, which is the ultimate goal and the perfection of life. And Kartik month is especially celebrated in the holy land of Vrindavan, which is the place where Lord Krishna grew up and where he performed many, many beautiful and sweet and intimate pastimes, which we call leelas. And these leelas are very attractive. And when we hear about these pastimes, when we discuss them, remember them, then our heart becomes purified and we develop great attraction and devotion for Lord Krishna. So the act of hearing and reciting the names and the pastimes and the qualities and glories of Lord Krishna, especially in Vrindavan, and even more so in the month of Kartik, is extremely powerful. So we can take advantage of this excellent opportunity. Lord Krishna is very kind and he has given us many, many opportunities to make advancement in our spiritual life. And he gives us what may appear to be various incentives and temptations. For example, sometimes the government may, in order to encourage people to export goods to other countries and earn some revenue for the country, they may create a separate zone. And they may say that everything that you produce here, you will not have to pay a certain amount of taxes and you will get so many benefits and so on. So, in this way, the government gives a lot of benefits and incentives for those activities in that region. So, similarly, Lord Krishna also, he gives us a lot of incentives to do his bhakti, activities of devotional service, so that we can take advantage of these benefits, being attracted by the incentives, and make advancement in our spiritual life. Now, in Vrindavan, in this month, many, many important pastimes happened. For example, the lifting of the Govardhan hill, a very celebrated pastime of Lord Krishna. That happened in this month. Also, Lord Krishna performed the celebrated and much misunderstood Rasa Leela with the gopis also in this month. And there are many, many such wonderful pastimes or leelas that were performed by Lord Krishna in Vrindavan in this month. So the pastimes of Vrindavan are very sweet and very enchanting. And Lord Krishna's descent into this material world as an avatar about 5,000 years ago, approximately, has many purposes, as described in not only Bhagavad Gita, but also in the Srimad Bhagavatam. One of the prime purposes, however, is that he wanted to relish the pastimes of Vrindavan and he wanted to broadcast them so that all the people in the world would be attracted to these pastimes and naturally develop love for him. So, amongst these pastimes, there is one wonderful pastime which I would like to narrate in brief to you today, and that is called the Brahma Vimohana Leela. Brahma is the creator of the universe. Of course, he is not the primary creator of the universe. He is what we can call the secondary creator of the universe because he is empowered by Lord Vishnu or Lord Krishna to do the act of creation. Without such empowerment, Brahma does not have the capacity to perform the acts of creation. So, Brahma, even though he is such an exalted personality in the universe, he is the first learned person, the first priest, the first philosopher in the universe. He's the first born person in this universe. And he's the most knowledgeable person, the most intelligent person. He is directly a disciple of Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna has personally spoken the Vedas to him, and therefore he spoke the Vedas to his disciples, and in that way the whole Vedic knowledge became transmitted. So we can understand that Brahma is not an ordinary personality. He is very, very exalted, very intelligent, very powerful, very well equipped with all sorts of mystic powers and abilities. But still, in front of Lord Krishna, Lord Brahma feels himself to be like a tiny speck, like a small firefly in the presence of the sun. And after the Brahma Vimohana Leela happened, Brahma actually says this, that I was like a firefly trying to demonstrate my power in front of the sun. Now, can you compare the illumination given by a firefly, in Hindi you call it Jugnu, to the illumination given by the sun? There is no comparison. It is only at night, when the sun is not visible, that the fireflies may appear to be attractive. But when the daylight comes, then nobody can even notice or see the fireflies. So, similarly, when we do not understand who God is, then exalted personalities like Brahma may appear to us to be God. But actually, they are not God with a capital G. They are empowered representatives of God. Such personalities are also very respectable, and we should never offend such personalities. We should offer all our respect to them. At the same time, we should also be clear from a philosophical point of view that they are not the Supreme Lord. So, even such a personality as Brahma, so intelligent, so knowledgeable, so powerful, would get bewildered in trying to understand the greatness and the glory and the power of Lord Krishna. And all the more, when Lord Krishna appears in Vrindavan, he does so as an ordinary cowherd boy. He likes to be a cowherd boy. And when he acts as a cowherd boy, he plays as if he's an ordinary human child. So those who do not know Krishna's greatness and glories, who do not know the tattva, tattva means the philosophical truth, they will misunderstand Lord Krishna's pastimes, especially in Vrindavan. So they will think that Lord Krishna is just an ordinary boy. And he's simply, being made into a god by sentimental believers. Some people may think that actually he's just a powerful yogi. So there are many things, like many misconceptions that people have about Lord Krishna. And especially when Lord Krishna plays with his friends, the other cowherd boys, and he frolics with them and they have fun with each other. Just like little boys, when they play with each other, they have fun and they tease each other and they run and they jump and they do so many activities which we don't associate with God. We don't imagine that God can be doing such things. When we think of the word God, we think of someone who will be very serious and will speak in a very deep voice and who will be sitting in one place and giving punishment to the cruel people, and then he will be giving his blessings to the good people. Of course, Lord Krishna does these things, but indirectly. Directly, his only business is to enjoy his pastimes in the holy land of Vrindavan. So, actually, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, there are many statements like this about Lord Krishna. And we won't go into the details. There are many nice, beautiful Sanskrit shlokas also about it. I will not recite, just to keep the things brief. So the point is that even Lord Krishna, or Lord Brahma, the creator, gets bewildered when he tries to understand Krishna. On one hand, Lord Brahma, he has been empowered by Lord Vishnu or Krishna to do the creation. So he understands how great Lord Krishna or Vishnu is. On the other hand, when he sees Lord Krishna frolicking in the fields of Vrindavan with his friends, then he is struck with wonder. How can this be God? How can a boy, little boy, tender little boy who's only 5 years old, and he's jumping and playing and herding the cows, what kind of God can this be? So Brahma is also bewildered. And particularly when these boys are sitting down for their picnic, their mothers have sent their tiffin boxes with them. And as they go out and graze the calves and cows, the calves are grazing in the grass. And at some point, then these boys sit down in the grass. They open their tiffin boxes that their mothers have sent with them, and they have a nice picnic in the forest. And during this picnic, sometimes they eat each other's from each other's tiffin box. So one boy will put his hand into another boy's tiffin box and eat. And they will sometimes steal from Lord Krishna's tiffin box. And then when one boy wants to get his prasad back, then the second boy will pass it to a third boy. And then they will make fun of each other, just like little children and boys do. So Lord Krishna was also doing such things. And in fact, one of the boys had drunk some buttermilk chas in his mouth. And Lord Krishna went and poked his fingers into his cheeks so that the buttermilk would come out. So all these activities are done by little children and boys in a playful mood. But here is God Almighty who is doing such activities and eating normal food like curd and rice and a little fruit and so on. So Brahma, after seeing this, was really bewildered. And he understood, yes, I know this is God, but I want to see for myself and I want the world to see. So let Lord Krishna, who is playing the part of a cowherd boy in Vrindavan, let him also establish and prove to the world that he is actually God, despite him acting like an ordinary cowherd boy, just like a tender 5-year-old boy. So when Lord Krishna was sitting and enjoying the tiffin boxes with all his friends, they noticed that the calves that they had got for grazing had somehow strayed away to different places. And so the boys began to get worried. Oh, our parents will scold us now. Our calves have wandered away somewhere into the forest. And what will happen? Maybe what if the dangerous animals in the forest attack them? What will happen? So the boys started getting worried. So Lord Krishna says, don't worry. All of you sit here and happily eat your food, your tiffin boxes. I will go and look for the calves and bring them back. So when Lord Krishna departed into the forest to look for the calves, Lord Brahma had been watching this. And he quickly descended on his Hansa Vahana. His vehicle is a swan. So he descended and he quickly, by his mystic power, he kidnapped all the cowherd boys and the calves, and he hid them in a cave. So when Lord Krishna came back to the spot where the cowherd boys had been sitting, he was surprised to find that there was no one there. Neither the cowherd boys were there, nor were there any calves. But of course, Lord Krishna is the Supreme Lord. He is all knowing, Sarvagya. He knows past, present, future. There is nothing that remains unknown to God. Otherwise, what kind of God is he if there is something that he doesn't know? But because he likes to relish this very intimate Leela, sometimes he puts himself in forgetfulness so that he can enjoy that rasa. If he thinks that I am God, he will not be able to play with his friends. And if his friends remember that he is God, they will not be able to tease him. They will not be able to climb on his shoulder. And they will not be able to quarrel with him lovingly, as ordinary boys do when they are playing. So, for the sake of increasing the sweetness of the Leela of the pastimes, everybody forgets, or rather is made to forget by Krishna's spiritual potency about the godhood of Krishna. So, Krishna understood, of course, that Brahma, this was the work of Brahma. So, he didn't say anything. And what he did was, he simply expanded himself and he made himself expand into duplicates of every single cowherd boy and every single calf. And they were perfect duplicates. Nobody could make out any difference, not just the clothing and the ornaments, not just the physical features of the boys, but even their mannerisms, even their manner of speaking, walking, looking, the way they spoke, the words they spoke, everything was completely identical. Even their mothers could not recognize any difference. They also thought that our boys, they are the same boys. So, and similarly, Krishna did with the calves also. So, the mother of the cows, they also did not see any difference. They also thought, this is my calf. And they started giving milk to the calf. However, there was one difference. You see, the very special thing about Vrindavan is that all the residents of Vrindavan, they love Lord Krishna more than they love their own children, which is something very rare. Generally, householders love their own children more than they love other children. Everybody loves children, but people love their own children more than they love other children. This is natural. It happens to everybody. But in Vrindavan, the special feature was that all the residents of Vrindavan loved Krishna more than they loved even their own children. But on this particular day, when Krishna expanded himself into all the cowherd boys as identical duplicates, the mothers felt a kind of love towards their own children exactly on the level of the love they had for Lord Krishna. So please try to imagine the situation. For the first time, the mothers are loving their own children as much as they love Krishna, which had never earlier happened because they always loved Krishna more than their own children. So they were puzzled. But anyway, they went on. And similarly, the cows also loved their calves as much as they loved Krishna from this day on. And this happened for one whole year. And every day of this year, the children would, the boys, cowherd boys would go out to graze the calves along with Lord Krishna. Now, each of these cowherd boys was Lord Krishna himself. Each of the calves was also Lord Krishna himself. And this happened for one whole year. And towards the end of the year, Krishna's older brother Balaram, he began to get suspicious because he saw that the mothers, that is the cows, they had developed so much love for Lord Krishna, for their calves, that they started running and jumping down the mountain slope, risking tumbling and falling and injuring themselves. And Balaram said, I have never before in Vrindavan seen the cows loving their calves so much. So he went to Lord Krishna privately and said, So Krishna, what is going on? What is happening? What Leela are you doing now? Something very special is going on. Then Lord Krishna revealed the whole secret to him. And this was when 1 year had almost been complete. So meanwhile, Brahma, after hiding the calves and the cowherd boys in a cave, and he had gone back to his Brahmaloka. And he went just for a time of one fraction of a moment. He went to his boat and came back because he wanted to see what was the condition in Vrindavan. And his one moment is 1 year on earth. So Brahma came back after one moment, but 1 year had passed on the earth. So when Brahma came back, he was astonished to see that Lord Krishna was still playing with the same cowherd boys and grazing the same calves. So he thought, is it that Lord Krishna has found out where I had hidden the cows, the calves, and the cowherd boys, and he has released them from captivity? So he went to the cave and he opened the cave and he saw that all the calves and the cowherd boys that he had hidden in the cave were still there. So he said, This is very strange. So then he ran back to the place where Lord Krishna was and he saw that the cowherd boys and the calves were there also. So he went back and forth. And he says, How can the same cows and the same cowherd boys be in two places at the same time? So Brahma was totally bewildered. And Brahma has four heads. He is very intelligent. And all the four heads of Brahma started spinning. What has happened? And at that time, Lord Krishna, in order to show his mercy upon Brahma, he, all the cows and the cowherd boys, into whom he had expanded, and they were all his forms, he manifested four arms, the four arms of Narayan or Vishnu. And when Brahma saw that, he was even more astonished and he understood what had happened. He understood that when he had hidden the calves and the cowherd boys in the cave, Lord Krishna had expanded himself into these hundreds and hundreds of calves and cowherd boys, and he had become perfect duplicates of each of them in every respect. And then Brahma became bewildered. So this bewildered is called Vimohana in Sanskrit. Vimohit. We say Vimohit, or somebody became Vimohit ho gaya. He became bewildered. So Vimohana means the stage of bewilderment. So therefore, this pastime is called Brahma Vimohana Leela. The Leela in which Lord Krishna bewildered Brahma, the creator of the universe. So if such a powerful, intelligent Brahma can get bewildered like this, what to speak of ordinary souls like us, who are very tiny and insignificant in comparison to Brahma. So we are nothing at all in comparison to Brahma. And Brahma is nothing at all in comparison to Lord Krishna. So in this way, Brahma understood the great mistake he had made, and he began to repent, and he began to feel fearful. He felt, oh, I have committed a great offense against Lord Krishna. So then he came down and he descended from his swan carrier, Hansavahana, and he came in front of Lord Krishna and he folded his hands and he offered his respects, his pranam, and he began to offer prayers to Lord Krishna. And Lord Krishna was still playing the role of an ordinary cowherd boy. He was acting as if he did not know who is this Brahma. So he was just having his food in both the hands and he was eating and thinking, who is this golden complexion, four-headed person bowing down before me? And Brahma was getting bewildered. Then finally Krishna showed more mercy and then he spoke to Brahma in a voice like the resounding cloud and he spoke ordinarily. So Brahma, I did not expect this of you. Now you please know who I am. Now you have seen my glories. So Brahma recited in one whole chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam a beautiful set of prayers, very wonderful shlokas, prayers in that chapter, that 14th chapter of the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. And these prayers are very fondly recited by the devotees in remembrance of this pastime where Brahma has glorified Lord Krishna. So this pastime did not happen in the month of Kartik, but it is a pastime that happened in Vrindavan. And how it came out is also very interesting. On the day that the Brahma Vimohana Leela happened, just before Brahma stole the calves and the cowherd boys, Krishna had killed an asura. He had killed a demon who had come in the form of a snake, Agha. His name was Agha. Agha means sin. And he was personified sin, Murtiman Pap. And he had taken the form of a snake. And because he's an asura, he is called Aghasura. So Krishna killed Aghasura very easily. And after he killed Aghasur, then this Brahma Vimohan Leela happened. And then after 1 year had elapsed, then all the original cowherd boys and the calves were restored. They came back and they went back to Vrindavan. And they did not remember what had happened in that 1 year because they were lying in blissful sleep for that 1 year under Lord Krishna's mystic powers. So when they went home after 1 year, for them, that 1 year had not passed. They thought it was the same day as it was 1 year ago. So they described the killing of Aghasur as if it had happened today, whereas actually it had happened 1 year ago. So Parikshit Maharaj, who is hearing Srimad Bhagavatam from Shukadev Maharaj, heard that the pastime of Aghasura was described by the cowherd boys to the residents of Vrindavan 1 year after it had happened. Then Parikshit naturally asked the question, how is it that happened? If the pastime of Aghasura's killing happened today, then the cowherd boys should have gone and related the story today itself, like they did in all other cases. Why did they narrate this pastime after 1 year? So then Shukadev Goswami narrates the whole Brahma Vimohana Leela, which I have narrated to you in brief, as Shukadev Goswami has narrated. So this pastime has many, many lessons to learn, which we can learn from it. One of the lessons is, of course, how sweet and intimate the pastimes of Krishna are with the residents of Vrindavan. Such pastimes are not found anywhere else in any other holy place. The level of intimacy that Lord Krishna has with his associates and devotees in Vrindavan is not to be found anywhere else. Another lesson that we can learn is that we may be very big people in this world, But in front of Lord Krishna, in front of God, we are very tiny. So we should never be proud of our abilities, our intelligence, and so on. We should always be humble devotees of Lord Krishna. Another lesson we can learn is that the pastimes of Lord Krishna are very pleasing to hear. And the more and more that we hear such pastimes, our attraction for Lord Krishna increases and we start feeling great happiness in our heart. In this material world, there are so many problems, so many causes of anxiety. Every person is harassed by many types of anxieties and problems. And the ultimate solution to all these problems is to absorb our mind, our hearing, our chanting in such beautiful pastimes of Lord Krishna. Then, even in the midst of the struggles of existence of life, we will be able to be peaceful and happy. We will understand the higher purpose of life. We will get deep knowledge from our Vedic scriptures. And ultimately, we will become pure devotees of God in course of time. And in this way, we will make our life perfect. So this was the pastime of the Brahma Vimohana. Brahma Vimohana Lila, I have narrated to you in brief. Brahma Vimohana Lila ki jai. Vrindavan Dham ki jai. So, if any of you have any questions on what I have spoken today, you may feel free to ask. Hare Krishna. So I'm very happy that you're all attending the programs that are being conducted by Susmita Mataji and Avinash Prabhu in their house or at various places. So please continue to attend these programs and read the Bhagavatam and study Srila Prabhupada's books. So Susmita and Avinash, thank you very much for conducting this program. You are giving an opportunity for so many people living around you to get the benefit of the Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita so that everyone can take the process of bhakti very seriously. So do read the Bhagavad Gita as it is and Srimad Bhagavatam. Our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada has translated these books in very simple language. So do read them and enjoy spiritual happiness. Hare Krishna. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Very nice, very nice question. So please sit and be comfortable. I will answer the question. So the question is that the original cowherd boys are also part and parcel of Krishna. So what is the difference between them and uh, the cowherd boys into whom Krishna expanded, the forms into which Krishna expanded? The difference is that when Krishna expanded himself after Brahma had stolen the calves and the cowherd boys, these expanded forms were directly Lord Krishna. They were full and complete Lord Krishna. They were directly Krishna himself. Whereas the cowherd boys, they were parts and parcels of Krishna. But in the second case, it was directly Lord Krishna. Okay? Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna. Namami